Hard shell tacos.
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 Do you guys ever get solicitations for like charity stuff in the mail?
Always.
Always, yeah, me too.
Not so much anymore. Not since I moved.
I got one earlier this week. It's from, I don't know, it's like this right-wing evangelical Christian Zionist apocalypse type of people, and they were asking me for money. Like, look, that's first of all, no, but your return envelope is already paid for. Well, you'll pay for it, so I'm just gonna send it anyway. I'm not gonna give you anything, but you're gonna pay for this postage. It's my small bit of revenge. I also write mean things on the papers that they have, like, God, Palestinians are human garbage. No, okay, that's not a nice thing to say. I don't think Jesus would approve.
True. I'm like, don't get me started on that right now. I'm so pissed because of what's happening right now. Like, don't get me started. Please don't get me started on that.
Yeah, that's my small revenge. I got one from Don Jr. He sent me some shit, so I wrote him back telling him I think he's an idiot, and they're paying for it. I'm gonna build a letter, and the Trumps are gonna pay for it. A little bit of a little cold open for you all there. All right, let's do the thing that we do. This is Hard Shell Tacos. My name is Leo. I'm joined by my cousin Lily, and there is a scent of someone new in the room. Who do we have joining us today?
Hey guys, my name is Dustin.
Ooh, Dustin. All right, so the basis of today, it's kind of going to be a rehash of our creative process one that we did a few weeks ago, and Dustin enjoyed that one so much that he wanted to come on and have a chat about it as well. So let's jump right into it. I tried to find the same questions, but some of them are kind of different.
Sure.
But so just to lay the groundwork, what is your passion, like your creative outlet? Do you feel that it chose you, or did you choose it? How did that come about?
As far as music goes, I feel like it was kind of a little bit of both. Art, I definitely feel like I chose that. I had to work a lot harder at getting okay at art before I got okay at music.
Art like painting or?
Like drawing.
Drawing. Oof. I one time.
That's the one thing I can't do.
Yeah, I was about to say this one time in fucking third grade, I drew a dolphin once, and it was actually really good for a third grader, and I have not drawn anything good ever since. I peaked in third grade. All right, so you chose it. Why did you keep going with it if it didn't if it was a little bit more, it took a little bit more effort?
I think it was the challenge. I think it was the challenge of taking something that I'm not very particularly good at and improving at it.
Yeah. Lily, you were mentioning that you're working on something with strings. So
Oh yes, I got what the hell did I say I got for Christmas?
A lyre, was it?
A lyre harp. Yes. Yeah. I was trying to tune it the other day and I already broke a string, so I got to restring it. I tightened it too tight, and then I was tightening it and trying to tune it, and then it just snapped and it fucking hurt my finger. So now I gotta figure out how to put a new string on it and go through that whole fucking process. Yeah, I haven't touched it since that incident 2 weeks ago or something.
Would you say that being handy around the house with home improvement projects, is that kind of an art form in a way, or is that just more practicality?
I would say so.
I'm gonna say it's an art form.
All right, so I wanted to bring
DIY is not for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Why? I sustained a very grievous injury the other day as I got a new ladder that folds in a really weird way, and being a fucking idiot, it ended up dropping. I didn't lock the fold, so then it dropped and it clipped my finger.
Way to go.
Oh,
Yeah, I
man.
know. I'm really good
At
at
least
this.
you weren't standing
Way
on
to
it when it
go.
happened.
Oh yeah, I was once I put it up for the first time to go up it. I was very careful with making sure that it was steady and everything. Okay. In regards, I think we can. This is kind of a two-part question. I think so, anyway. When it comes to getting like the creative process going to get your creative neurons firing, is it different? Like, let's take your drawing for example, where that one takes a little bit more effort, or took a bit more effort to become proficient at it, versus music, which came a little bit more naturally. Do those processes are they different?
Oh, they are wildly different. As far as music, I create best when I've got some kind of like really intense emotion going on, like either like intense hurt or happiness or pain or anger or whatever. Whereas drawing, I cannot. If I'm super emotional, like I have to be super even keeled to draw.
Would that be like your hands getting a little jittery, maybe?
Yeah, like my hands getting jittery or sweaty or like sweating on my paper or stuff like that.
I think we kind of talked about this on the last time about, and I think this might have something to do with it being more innate or more natural to you. Because like for me, I write, and whenever I have intense emotions, I don't want to do anything else. That's like the only way I know how to channel that frustrated energy or anger or whatever the case may be. If I were to if I tried to unfold my ladder, I'd probably lose a finger in that case. But
I could see that.
Yeah.
And of course, that just makes the emotions worse.
Yeah, but then I don't have any fingers to write with.
No.
Lily, how did you feel when you picked up your harp and you wanted to tune it? Like when you picked it up for the first time?
I mean, I was excited to like start, messing around with it, and like playing a tune on it, but yeah, that like the urge to want to play it just left when I tuned it. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I got mad at myself for ruining, already.
I think that's a little bit too hyperbolic. I wouldn't say ruined. Think of it as a folding ladder.
But yeah,
that's your.
True. I'll eventually get back on it, but for now, I don't touch it.
So you've mentioned that stringed instruments were your crux.
Yeah.
You're hard to do.
Like last year, I got a ukulele, because I've always wanted to learn guitar, but it's just like it hurts my wrist, it hurts my fingers. I can play it, I just don't play it a normal way. And I looked at a harp and I'm like, this looks like it's a lot easier to learn how to play. I mean, any instrument to me is easy to learn how to play because I know all the notes and I know what song I want to play when I play whatever. So I got the harp, and I am determined to learn a stringed instrument at some point in my lifetime.
So this is like your drawing. You're challenging yourself to do something.
Yes.
Oh shit! There's this harp lady on Instagram. I need to send you.
Sorry, I'm having.
All right. Well, while she sorts that out, Dustin, I think
yes.
I'm gonna keep asking these, and they're gonna be like two parts. One for
Sweet.
drawing, since it's a little bit more difficult, and you need to be more even keeled, as you said, versus music, which is not. That can run on pure emotion. So, do you have any artists that you like or follow or that inspire you? Or I don't want to say emulate, but at the same time I do.
As far as drawing, not really. If I had to choose, it's more like a genre. I prefer like a black and white pen and ink or digital. As far as music, I'm kind of all over the map. I mean, my thing lately has been trying to challenge myself to go out of my comfort zone and not fall back into what I'm usually play or write. So like normally I would fall back to blues just because that's kind of where I started with guitar.
Yeah.
And I've been really, like the last probably year, I've been really pushing myself to not play blues and to force myself into playing other genres.
What have you been branching into the most?
The last project I did, I mean, I've got a lot of irons in the fire right now. I have a couple of different solo projects I'm working on right now. Like one's just instrumental stuff. I have another one that's actually with lyrics. The instrumental stuff has been kind of all over the place. Like I did a bunch of stuff that was like would probably be considered more lo-fi. I did a bunch of stuff that's just like instrumental rock,
Post rock. It's one of my favorite genres for sure.
Yeah, I've been doing that. As far as artists musically, blues, Stevie Ray Vaughan is my go-to.
He's a Texas staple.
Yeah. I actually just finished building a guitar that's modeled after his, but as far as rock, that's such a broad genre, man. Like classic rock, Zeppelin. Probably more of a Stones fan than a Beatles fan.
Yeah, no judgments here. I'm not too keen on the Beatles myself.
The Beatles, I'm really picky and choosy with what stuff by the Beatles that I like. I don't like a lot of the more psychedelic stuff. I like mine. It's kind of more the older like poppy stuff, like early rock, almost Brit beat music.
When they were a pop boy band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the Beatles stuff I like. I don't really like the one like the Sgt. Pepper's era stuff like that.
Did you see that Yellow Submarine movie? That was a fucking trip.
I have seen about half of it, and I was like, I can't watch this anymore.
That's about how I got to it as well. I don't even know if I made it halfway. That thing was a trip, and I was not prepared.
Yeah, definitely. That's how I was with the Midnight Gospel as well on Netflix. That show is crazy. It's are you familiar with that comic Duncan Trussell?
No.
Oh, okay. It's the premise of the show is it's supposed to be like Duncan Trussell's hosting a podcast that takes place in different dimensions, and he has like a machine. It's a cartoon. He has a machine that he can travel to all kinds of weird different dimensions and interview a person of interest there. And it's really weird because it's super calm, like really deep on the audio side, but on the video side, like the visual side, it's like really vivid, like acid trip cartoon. It's so hard to watch because they're so opposite.
My head is screaming Rick and Morty meets Space Ghost.
Kinda, yeah. It's really similar.
Oh my god, Space Ghost.
Yeah, Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, man.
Remember Space Ghost? Yes.
I don't know why. I didn't really understand it when I was at that age when I was watching it, but I watched it anyway. I was just enraptured. I was enthralled by it. I couldn't turn away.
I remember you and your sister used to watch that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something weird about that is at the time, a lot of my schoolmates, my classmates, they all liked Dragon Ball Z, and for the life of me, I didn't get it. I really tried. I remember, Lily, once you told me, like, why the fuck are you watching it if you don't like it? Because all of my friends watch this. I don't know what else to do. I never understand what they're talking about. I just want to know what they're talking about, and I couldn't go on with it. Yeah, and I ended up watching Space Ghost instead.
Good old Space Ghost. There's like one episode that sticks out in my mind, and I remember I think you and your sister were watching it. They were doing like a fundraiser for pennies or something. Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my
That
gosh.
episode, always sticks out in my mind whenever I think of Space Ghost, because they had like Brack and the fucking praying mantis guy. But that episode is like ingrained in my brain, and I always think about it, and I always remember you and your sister and I were like cracking up over it.
Can we actually call them? No,
Right?
we can't fucking call them. It's a cartoon.
God.
Oh goodness. I think we can kick. All right. So this is gonna be like an easy. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna find that episode right now, and I'll send it to you.
I think this. It might seem like an easy question. It did to me on the surface, but let's see what you think. Do you think that creativity involves putting your heart and soul into your work, or is it more like letting your mind flow and sort of mildly guiding whatever you're doing?
It really kind of depends.
A lot of our
Probably
answers
more
here
just,
are
like,
like
letting-
that. They're always
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, like I'd probably say it's more as far as drawing goes. I mean, I usually pretty much know what I'm gonna do, and I go into anything like with kind of an idea. I don't really do a lot of free form, like just free expression drawing. Whereas with music, it's kind of there's times where I go in knowing what I want to do. There's times when I approach it as far as just like a stream of consciousness.
Okay, so as far as like musical stuff goes, the only thing I can do is vocals. So like stream of consciousness into an instrument that's kind of a foreign idea to me. I'm trying to, even when I was like when I learned how to play the piano, I never got good enough to learn like composition or anything. So I'm having trouble, like, how do you translate stream of consciousness into an instrument?
I think it's because my hand, like, subconsciously I know where my hands have to be to make a certain sound.
Right.
And it's kind of just kind of letting my hands go and not thinking about what I'm playing.
Where
and just kind of
where they want
letting
to
it go
next. Sort of, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of both. It's a little
Yeah,
it's a little different with writing, just because you kind of have to think about your word choice a lot.
Oh, sure.
So it's can't. I want to say, as I found an old journal, and I was getting the pages put onto a bigger medium, and I was reading them like, wow, this is when I sucked. So these are just not very good. But that I guess that might be more of a letting my mind just flow, because I'm saying stuff, but it's not structured the way it's supposed to be, or the way that I want it to be.
But do you find it easier or more? I don't know if cathartic's the right word, but therapeutic, I guess, to write pen and paper, or do you do better typing?
For when it comes to doing something that's a therapeutic outlet, it's pen and paper for sure. I have a lot of fountain pens and paper, the details of which would bore the shit out of anyone. I have a typewriter. That's where if I want to write a story, I write it on my typewriter. I work in IT, so I try to get away from a computer as much as I can.
Same.
Yeah, I don't want to just. My work desk is 2 feet away from me. I don't want to just roll from that one to this one and continue doing what I was already doing.
Sure. I actually had to set up 2 separate desks, one for music and one for work, just so it doesn't feel like music's becoming a job.
I have my current setup is I have a window, which this desk, I guess where my personal PC is at, a little bit more recreational, is at the window to my left. On the wall is my work desk to my right. Against the wall is my writing desk.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so kind of the same thing. I had to.
Yeah, mine's like in my apartment, like the dining room area is like where my kind of office area is, where I have my work desk set up. It's also where I do like my gaming setup, and then my recording desk is actually set up where my TV would go, and I have my TV set up as a third monitor up on the wall.
Yes, that's nice. That's good. Hold on a second. All right. What part of your, creative products do you share? How much of it do you share?
As far as music goes, like anything I write and record, I typically share. Whether that's sending it to a couple of people or whether that's publishing it, I'll do either. Drawing, I'm a little bit more guarded with, which is weird because you would think the emotional stuff I'd be a lot more guarded about. But but my drawing, it's like, I don't know if I'm more self-conscious about it or kind of what's going on there. But I feel more self-conscious about sharing art with people than I do sharing music.
My thinking is that it's a confidence factor. Maybe
Could
you're
be.
not as confident in your drawing, but I have the flipped problem. Like I write short stories as well. I know they're not very good, but I love sharing those. Just they feel like they're more exciting. I don't want to share any poetry that I've written because it's very personal.
Oh, sure.
And I don't know, it's not embarrassment about the subject matter. It's just like I'm trying really hard to to put my emotions into an artsy way, artsy form, I guess. And it would really hurt if somebody said, like, this is a shitty poem, you suck. Man.
Right.
I'm really trying. Here.
Right. I think I would have a really hard time sharing something that I wrote. Like, say if I wrote lyrics for a song that I hadn't written the instrumentals for yet, I'd have a really hard time sharing that with somebody. I think it's just because it is so personal, and the instrumentals almost act like a buffer or like a shield.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is like, how does adding the instruments to it change your feeling on it? It's
like a suit of armor.
Yeah. Do you ever collab with anyone?
I have one project I have going right now is a collaboration with a buddy of mine that I've known since middle school. It's more of like a metal post-hardcore type of thing. Mm-hmm. We've got that I've collabed with. Trying to get a couple other people to collaborate too. One of the guys that I work with is an absolutely phenomenal guitar player, and I'd love to get him on a couple of tracks, play some lead stuff, but I don't do a ton of collaboration. I'd like to do more though.
Oh, so in this regard, how does sharing lyrics work in that sense? If it's something that's intensely personal and you're more guarded about it.
There's some the way it's kind of evolved is we both kind of share in the writing duties, and kind of whoever writes the lyrics and writes most of the instrumental, like the skeleton of the song, kind of has a little bit more say as to what goes on with that song. But a lot of the times I'll just take what we're writing on, and I'll learn both my guitar parts and my friends and record everything myself and just put lyrics to it.
So you put it on later.
Yeah. I very rarely write the music and the lyrics at the same time. Usually it's either one or the other comes fairly far before.
I don't know. I never checked into this, but I heard back in the day that the dude from Creed, when his writing, he would write music lyrics structured as music, and he had a notebook full of it. Do you have something like that? Just lyrics that you can kind of pull out, does this match the song or something?
Not really. I usually, they're very few and far between that I just have lyrics pop into my head that I'm I have to write this down right now. But it's much more common for me to have a whole stable of instrumentals to pull from when I do get that inspiration.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay, so this question that they have: how do you manage to stay both personal and original in what you do? It sounds pretty straightforward. It just seems to be a product of how you make it.
Yeah. hmm Yeah. As far as I think it's a lot more challenging for me to be original and just different. As far as the music side goes, just because there's only so many ways you can play the same chords, or the same style of music, and still have it be true to that style. The best way I've found is by blending those styles.
What's an example of that you've worked on?
Like saying, like I want to do. And probably like one of the last ones I did was one of the last instrumentals that I did, trying to stay original, was like taking a song or a guitar riff that I like and figuring out how to incorporate that into a different style of music. So so for example, taking a blues guitar riff and putting it over like a Latin song or something.
Right.
Because I'm still feeling I'd still be feeling both the Latin song and the blues stuff, but just putting them together so it sounds like something else that nobody does, or not very many people do.
Is keeping your work personal and original kind of mutually inclusive, or can you do one without the other? I'm not sure if you can.
I think I could, because I've definitely been able to go in and have some, say if I'm wanting to write something about a specific topic, I can usually churn out acceptable lyrics. I just don't feel like it's my best work.
Hey Lily, are you still alive?
Yes, I am. I found the episode.
Excellent.
It's on Apple TV, but the episode is called Telethon.
All right, Lily, this question's for you. How are you going to keep yourself motivated and interested in working with a harp?
I don't know. I just gotta do it because, having ADHD, you get bored of things very quickly. So I'm always trying to find the next dopamine fix. But the thing that's just gonna get me interested in it is if I actually start playing it, and then I'll get inspiration and come up with something.
Do you ever find yourself unable to express your creativity to the fullest? And what kind of things inhibit you, if so?
Is that for me or Lily?
You first, I guess.
Oh, okay. Probably the biggest things are when I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling like being creative. There's some times where I'm just like, you know what? I just want to go lay down and not. I want to just go curl up in bed and not think about the world for a couple days.
Yeah.
That's usually the biggest thing that stifles me.
Have you ever found yourself kind of censoring what you do because you feel you're being too, I guess, expressive, or being too forward with what you're putting in? Definitely. I think it depends on the project too. There's some stuff where I'm like, ooh, yeah, I don't want to have the world reading that or the world listening to that. Yeah.
They're gonna think I'm a crazy person.
Yeah.
But for the most part, no. There are definitely times though where there's something where I'm like, ugh.
How do you overcome that? Any of those obstacles, I guess.
I think it's just forcing myself to do it. Just just do it. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. It's gonna be tough now, but you'll be glad you did later. And usually I am.
Well, I have that same problem with folding laundry, but I never do it. I tell myself...
Laundry's a totally different animal.
I tell myself every day, yep, today's the day we're going to do it. No, but it never happens.
Oh, man. It's like, you're going to live right there in the clean hamper.
I don't know if I've ever had a problem. It's just been a problem of being too literal, which is what I'm trying to get away from. I'm trying to, I guess, be more artsy-fartsy with it and use...
Oh, okay.
Create imagery that describes what I'm talking about, but not directly.
BRB. I gotta switch to headphones because my mic's not working properly.
Has rejection ever affected your creative process?
Not really. Just because I don't know if it's just because of the people that I happen to show my stuff to are like usually are not super inclined, so it's more impressive. They're more like, "Whoa, you did that?" I'm definitely more self-conscious about showing it to like other musicians.
Yeah.
Who might be like, "Dude, you just suck."
Yeah, that's one of the few
But,
times that I shared any writing was I didn't know that a literature major was in the room.
Oh no!
Fantastic.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, just please don't judge my commas.
Then it comes to that would be the fight of, do you use the Oxford comma or no?
Always use the Oxford comma.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
You're separating thoughts.
The
Or
Oxford
items,
commas are
whatever.
required. Maybe if we give it an American university or location, like the Harvard comma. Wait, Harvard's in not in good graces, public graces right now.
It's a Stanford comma.
The Stanford comma. That's what it is.
Okay, I think I'm okay now.
What was the last thing that you made as far as music?
I just finished doing a cover of Thrice's "Digging My Own Grave" that I tried to stay relatively faithful to the original, but I put it in a different time, again, a different timing. So instead of being in like a straightforward like 4/4 time, like you'd hear like most like country music or acoustic pop, I put it in 12/8. So it's over like so it's just a different feel.
What? So then, what was the inspiration to give it that different? Why that song? Why change the time signature?
That particular song, it was because I was trying to learn it on piano, and it was kind of drifting that way. It was easier for me to play it in triplets rather than playing in eighth notes. That particular one.
Okay, so then let's. Has there been anything you created, even if it's a cover that you kind of jazzed up, pun not intended? Was there anything that you had to learn, like an extra skill you had to pick up?
I've been working a lot on piano just because it's never been my main instrument. I learned where all the keys were from playing xylophone and marimba and vibraphone in high school, like in concert percussion. But I never had the coordination to put both hands together. So the last couple songs I've done, I've been really focusing on actually playing the piano part and not like separating my right and left hands.
Lily, is that what you struggle with string stuff? Is having to work
What
both
do you mean?
hands?
No, I have no issue with that. I struggle with that in piano because I taught myself. Like if I play the piano, I have to do both, the same notes on both hands. But it's weird, like with drumming, I can totally do different stuff. With guitar, it's just like the placement of my hand to get the note. It just hurts my wrist. I don't know. I just get frustrated with it because it's just uncomfortable for me. Yeah, that's my thing.
What about with accordion?
Accordion is that one is probably one of the easiest instruments I've ever learned how to play because it's just like the piano. It's just way too heavy. And like on the only thing you have to kind of learn on the accordion, because there's all these buttons that are a certain set of keys. And then there's like the keyboard aspect that's like the piano. The button one, you kind of have to learn what set of keys you're playing. But there are kind of guides on there, but that's the only thing that you really have to learn about that instrument. Very
don't all
easy.
have pianos? Wait, no,
No,
I thought
they
they all
all
had
have-
buttons.
They all have buttons, and they all have, like, on one whole side of the, like, for instance, the one that I have one that's from 1983. It was my grandmother's. She played it everywhere. She was mentored by the same guy that mentored Johnny Cash's wife. She wanted to be a musician so bad, but that changed. But with her accordion, like the right side of it has all these buttons on it, and then on the left side of it, in between, you know, the accordion thing, are like the piano keys. So you can either just play it without the buttons and just use the keys, or you can incorporate both. Most people incorporate both because you get more harmonies out of it. But the hardest part to learn about that will be all those buttons, because there's like, it depends, I guess, on the size of the accordion. Like I have a massive one, so it has like 100 and God knows how many buttons on the side. And like I said, each one, well, they're all in groups of 3 actually. So each set of 3 are a different set of like a key that you're trying to do. But other than that, it's a very easy, beginner-friendly instrument.
Nothing that you just said sounds beginner-friendly.
Well,
I'm
really horrible at explaining things. I'm more of like a visual teacher learner, yeah. So like it sounds way more complicated than it is, but it's like the easiest thing on the planet to learn. Like when I first decided to start playing it, I played I don't know the name of the song, but we heard it a lot as kids. It's a Mexican song. I can't even think of it right now, but it has accordion in it, and I just played those keys.
That's like 95% of the songs. Does not sound at all.
But I know there's like one in particular. I'm gonna try to find. I'll try to find the name of the song and I'll send it to you. But I learned how to. I had that in my head like for a while, and I'm like, I need to pick up the accordion and just play this out to get it out of my system, because it's just not gonna leave my brain. And I just grabbed the accordion one day, and I was like, how the fuck did my grandmother play this shit? Because it's heavy. It is so heavy.
Wasn't she a farm
even
wife?
Yeah, I mean, she did raise like 7 boys or 6 boys and 1 girl on a farm. God damn, that thing was heavy though. I'm like, how the hell? Because she played it for a very long time. Even as she got older, she played that all the time. It was that and the piano. But yeah, I just picked it up one day and I'm like, let me bang this out real quick with this stupid song. And then I did it and I was like, all right, I know how to play accordion. Easy. And that was it. Like for me, the process of learning any instrument, and I think anyone who knows like music notes can figure out a song on any instrument within minutes. And that's why I'm able to learn various instruments and have learned various instruments by myself, because I know the keys, I know how to figure out a song from it. But yeah, rant over.
That's kind of what I've understood as well, is once you learn, I guess, how to read sheet music or read
You
notes.
don't really have to learn how to read sheet music either. Like my grandmother that's the one thing she could not do, is read music. She just kind of, like with me, if I'm learning how to, like when I was teaching myself piano, I kind of learned how to read music, and I learned how to read music through the clarinet when I was in band. But like when I started teaching myself other songs, I literally do it by ear. I just can listen to a song and play it as it's playing. And that's something that my grandmother did too, when she did piano and accordion. Like she never was able to read music. She just by ear, which is I always think that's a pretty cool trait to have. Not to toot my own horn, but that's usually how I also learn how to play stuff, is just through ear. I just gotta listen to it like real quick and then I got it.
I wish I had that skill. I can kind of do that. Not really though. I usually have to at least see like because I have a hard time when it comes to like chords and stuff. Like, okay, that's a major 6th suspended 2nd chord or something like that. Something weird like that. Like I can hear major and minors, but anything, any of the weird like adding extra notes to it, I usually need a chord chart at least.
That was kind of the impression that I had, like going into learning the piano, was you get a general idea of chords and notes, and then you can kind of apply. Once you just figure out how to make that same sound with something else.
Yeah, like I remember one of the first few songs that I learned how to play on piano was oh my god, the Bee Gees' "Killing Me Softly," or the original, I forget who sings it, and then there was a or the Fugees, sorry. I'm like, the other one was a Bee Gees song. Jesus Christ. Hold on. What the hell is the name of this song? The other song that I learned how to play was "How Deep Is Your Love?" And I used to play that on your dad's piano all the time. And then there would be times that I would pull out a book, you know, all the different songs and all the notes and stuff. And sometimes I would read the notes and play it, but other times if I knew what the song sounded like, I would just kind of sound it out in my head and play it that way. But like those two songs that I mentioned, I learned just from sound and hearing and then just doing it. But yeah.
Words of wisdom for someone starting out in your field. Whatever, music, drawing, whatever you want to go with first.
You're gonna suck, keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a particular segment of my old notebooks that I don't go into just because of, like, that's angsty 14-year-old boy problems. I just don't want to read that right now. But
definitely, I can see that.
Yeah, but anything that I've written, like, more recently, I guess, in my adult life, that is, when I go back, I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? And then it's like, well, look, you were kind of new at this, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna suck, so keep going. I think I had phrased that as, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how the first whatever comes out, because it's probably not going to be great. It's gonna sound like you're a beginner.
Yeah.
So just keep.
I had a drum teacher in high school, like my high school drum instructor. When I first started trying to get down playing a traditional grip, which is like totally different than anything else. I had a drum teacher who essentially just said everyone sucks until they don't.
When do people cross that threshold?
I think it's different for every person, but I think that threshold is more when you feel that you have the proficiency in that instrument or in that discipline, whatever it is, when you feel proficient enough that you can teach someone else.
My thinking was, once you get to the point where you make something and you look at it and say, holy shit, somebody else needs to see this or hear this or read or listen to this.
I could see that.
Yeah. When you're confident enough to put your stuff into the world and you are not afraid of the judgment because you believe in it that much. But that's something that I've always held up for pretty much anything else. Like, if you can't teach a kindergartner, you don't really understand it yourself.
Sure.
I don't know if that applies to playing the piano, but
I don't know. I mean, I still don't play the piano great. I don't think I could teach it to a 5-year-old. Guitar though, I could teach guitar though.
Do I have anything I can teach? Shit.
Like, I'm too impatient with people to teach them anything. It's like, just do it yourself.
How's a 5-year-old gonna do that for themselves though? That's kind of the...
I don't know. I mean, I was 7 when I started learning the piano and such, but I'm like, I did it by myself. Because I was, I guess, determined. But yeah, if I were to try to teach someone how to do it, I would really need patience because I don't know. I don't have any when trying to teach people how to do stuff.
When you said that you taught yourself at 7, immediately in my head was Chris Farley when he was playing that character, the dude that lives in a van down by the river.
By the river?
Yeah.
That was such a great skit.
Yeah.
Well, Lottie frickin' da!
And words of wisdom for someone starting. Yeah, do it. Just keep doing it.
Just be like Nike and do it.
If you, I don't know, feel that badly about it, then you don't have to show anyone. Nobody has to know that you made crappy stuff or what you feel is crappy stuff. Oh,
absolutely.
That reminds me of a question that we had before. It was about, is there bad art?
Objectively, I think so, but I think it's so subjective in nature that I don't really think there is. I think it's any art's going to be good to somebody.
Yeah, that was kind of the thinking. And what we had both agreed on was, like, I don't care. If I don't like it, I'm not going to say it's bad just because I don't like it. It just means it's not something that I enjoy. So, whatever. It's not bad, necessarily. It's bad for me. But that, I think the only... Sure. Maybe, like, we landed on objectively bad art is anything that's, like, that promotes, like, hateful feelings towards anyone. Anything that's made with the intention of doing that.
Sure.
Does using hateful symbols make art bad?
I think, well, for me, for my personal opinions, yes. Or my personal tastes, yes. There's some people who would like it, who would think it's great, but it's not for me. I don't think it makes it particularly bad, but I think it's
poor taste.
Like, well, bad is, yeah, poor taste. It's not tasteful.
Even in the context of having it to be not promoting hate speech or anything, but reminding, like having a swastika in a painting that is about the Holocaust or something like that.
I mean, if it's in the context of showing, the explicit evil that was associated with those symbols, I don't think so. But if it's something like trying to glorify it, yes.
What? Okay, now we're just getting into the what if territory here, but there are people who legitimately still try to say this was a Buddhist or a Hindu symbol for fucking 2,000 years, and I'm not gonna let the Nazis ruin it for me.
I say you're full of shit.
Yeah.
They stole that. They stole it. They commandeered that symbol. It's no longer means what it, exclusively what it used to mean.
I think there's photos of, I think there's a hockey team in the U.S. that had a swastika, like the legitimate pattern, not the reversed angled one.
Yeah.
Because I had that conversation with somebody. He had like a ring that had a bunch of designs on it, a lot of different ones. And then I was like, why do you have the swastika one? Like this. And then that's what he said was that, like, well, that was a positive symbol for much longer than it has been negative. Well, is there a point where something was commandeered and used for bad things so much that it taints the use of the symbol again?
I
mean,
I think so.
That's an easy example, but like there's other ones. There are others, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think in that case, yeah, it absolutely does. It absolutely does kind of overshadow that. Now, if it was something like, say, 200 years from now, 300, 400, 500 years from now, when Nazis and the Holocaust were a long distant memory, I think that might be a different story. But if it's something like, I think it's still fresh.
Yeah, it's too recent. That's the point. I know that a lot of people take the crescent and star to be a bad thing. I don't know if it does qualify though.
I don't know. I mean, I don't see that as bad. I mean,
because like
it's a symbol for certain cultures or certain certain countries and stuff. But
it's for Islam. It's a symbol of Islam, like the cross for Christianity. But
okay,
a lot of the terrorist cells use it because they're fundamentalists.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't see it as being bad, only just because it's never been shown to me as no, this only represents terror cells.
Yeah,
or terrorist organizations.
No one else uses it but them.
Right.
I think we're good. Unless you have any questions you want to throw out.
Not that I can think of. Just thanks for having me on. Thanks for chatting with me. It was good getting to talk with you guys.
Lily, you have to do stuff.
What? Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Yeah, we appreciate you being a listener as well as coming on today.
Definitely.
I'll put the all the outro shit. I'll cut that in right about here. All right, let's get the housekeeping shit out of the way. If you want to listen to more stuff from the wider Lux Media network family of shows and stuff, go to lvxmedia.net. Got all kinds of different stuff for you to check out if you're interested. If you would like to comment or you have questions and something that you want us to talk about, you can text me at 833-589-7637. It's anonymous. I don't know who you are unless you tell me. You can call. It goes straight to voicemail. So, you're not calling I'm not going to pick it up or whatever. So the number, 833-LUX-PODS. If you want to check us out on social media, the handles are LVXMediaNet everywhere. If you can't find it, we're not on it. If you could, interacting with the social post helps a bit in trying to bring more visibility as an indirect consequence to the podcast. But what helps the most is a rating wherever you're listening. If you could hit me with a $5, that would be much appreciated. If you have the time and if you have the strong opinion, I would of course appreciate a review as well. But if you're not, if you're not feeling a $5, you got my number. Text me. Let me know how I can do better.
Okay.
And so, parting words. Dustin, let's have you go first. Wait, no, Lily first. Dustin afterwards. I want you to plug whatever you want.
For me, parting word is have a great week. Don't let the Debbie Downers get you down, and just stay creative.
Don't let the Debbie Downers get you down.
I'm ADHDing so bad right now. Sorry, yes. I'm just all over the place.
It happens.
Yeah. All right, Dustin, floor is yours. Do you want to share anything?
I'm just saying, be good to each other, man. Be good to each other. Keep going. Keep doing what makes you happy.
Do you have a Bandcamp or something for your music?
I actually have a Spotify. I'm on all the major streaming platforms. It's under Funky Bunt Cake is where you can find the only stuff I have published so far.
Funky Bunt Cake.
Yes.
All right, I'll put a link to that in the show notes. Okay.
Sweet.
We're going to exit with our Millennial Pantheon. If there's anybody I'm missing, please bring them up. Okay, so Steve Irwin, great teacher of being kind to animals and nature. Fred Rogers, being kind to other people, your neighbors or otherwise. LeVar Burton, being curious and wanting and feeding your eagerness to learn. And my personal favorite, and I think most importantly, is Bob Ross, who reminded us to be kind to ourselves. The song that's taking us out today is Winter Fields by City Girl. If you would like to hear more, go to lvx.at/city. That's going to do it for this episode of Hardshell Tacos. Thank you very much for listening.